But hey, yeah, man, let's get into it. So, as I say at the beginning of every podcast, I like to know just the surface of who I'm talking to, and that's who I'll
Yeah,
invite on, and then everything else I kind of like to learn as I go because the people that are listening to this, it's not like they do. Like when people are like, "Do you research this? Do you have like questions scripted?" I'm like, dude, when you meet a stranger, like you don't have questions scripted. You just
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
you start talking. So with this is what I do is I just because whoever's listening, I like them to sort of vicariously do it through
yeah.
me.
Live
So
through the
yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, there's
Okay.
no script, man. There's nothing. You cannot go off topic. It is impossible
All right.
because there's no fucking topic to follow. All right. So
I like the sound of that. I
all
like the
right,
sound.
all right. So yeah, dude, introduce yourself
All right.
and yeah, and what this is gonna be about.
All right. Sure. So I'm Matt. I'm 19. I'm a student here in New York.
Oh, nice.
You might see my roommate in the background. He'll be milling around. I think you already saw him, but
yeah.
you know, we're living in the dorm rooms. That's how we've been doing it.
What college are you in?
What's up?
What college?
Oh, Pace University in New York.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I went to
It's
school.
it's an interesting place, Pace,
Yeah.
the place, but it's been a good time since I've come here. So I guess that's what am I? Well, I like talking about cars. I like I like video games, cars. That's like the main
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
whatever. That's how we bonded. Me and my
yeah.
roommate,
Fuck
everything. It's been, I don't know, it's been a good time. I guess I don't really know. I'm not going to introduce myself.
Dude. Hey, man. I'm 29, but I was 19 in college in South Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, same shit. Yeah, man. It's a fucking blast. Enjoy it. It is enjoy it.
Yeah, it is. We've been having a good time.
And anyone that tells you enjoy it now because life is downhill after, fuck them. Those are depressing fucking people. I thoroughly enjoy it. I enjoy my life at 29 more than I have any other year of my life.
Well, yeah, good for you.
Yeah, and I had a fucking blast in college. So it's fuck it. People are gonna be like, dude, you're 19. You have 4 more years left to the real world. Enjoy it. Fuck them. Those are depressing fucking people. So
it is.
Yeah.
You do hear that, and you wonder. You're like, damn, really?
You're like, well, then what's the
I
point
never
of
loved
living?
high school, and then they tell me I gotta love.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to be forced to love any like one period of my life
because you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like. You're gonna be like, I have to enjoy it. I have to enjoy it. I have to enjoy it. It's like you can't enjoy something when you're fucking grabbing at it like that. It's like the people that yeah, it's like the people that are like, enjoy it now, man, because once you get married, it's over. And it's like, well, then why the fuck are you getting married? Why the fuck are you doing it? No one's making you do it. This isn't fucking 1500s feudal Europe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's like, who did they marry that they're so
fucking miserable,
bitter about
yeah.
it? Exactly.
Yeah. And then every once in a while, you meet an old couple. You know, they've been married for 40 years and they're fucking happy, and they're never like, you know, don't get married. It's like, oh, they did it right. The only people talking are the ones that are fucking miserable.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever. I get it. Depends who you pick. Well, I mean, geez Louise. I mean, I'm a ways off from that, but I guess I'll segue into the main. I guess why you contacted me in the first place.
Because right now everyone listening is like, so you just talking to a random kid in college? Yeah. Oh yeah. So
yeah. So over the past couple of years, or since I was like, I must have been 14 when I started working there. My buddies, his parents own a shop in Mass, where I'm from, Massachusetts, and it's like a T-shirt printing shop. You know, it was cool actually. I like collecting T-shirts, so I thought it was pretty fun to work there. But I worked there on and off for a few years, and last summer was the weirdest year, and because you got to understand, this building is like an old mill, you know, it from the Industrial Revolution, and it just gives off, you know, this place is haunted with old kids that died there. They inhaled the toxic. Yeah. It's just has a bad aura with this whole building. Old brick. I'm pretty sure some of the other businesses in there were like laundering money. That's a topic for a different day. There was a lot of shady stuff going down, but the main thing was, you know, me and my buddy, we go to our boss, and we tell her, this building is creepy. Like, I don't know, just in passing, we said we don't like the feeling of it, and she said, "Oh, well, that's funny you say that because there's a cult directly upstairs from us," and so that piqued my interest and my buddy's interest, you know, like tenfold. There's a fucking cult upstairs, and she not only there's a cult in this building, it is directly upstairs from where our little T-shirt shop was.
Yeah.
So I'm, how do I find out more about this? She says, well, over the past few years, she always sees these people come in. It's like Wednesday night every week for, I don't know, every year she's worked there. She's been there forever.
Yeah.
And every time she tried to talk to them, they would say, oh, it's like a class, like they would act like it was some kind of AA meeting or something like that. But they were all weird and hippies, and she knew that was part of it.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, okay. I was like, but you don't know that's a cult. Maybe they could have been telling the truth. I don't know. It was hippie. Maybe it was like weed rehabilitation or something. She says, no. One day, a woman, slips these like notes under the doors of all the businesses in this building saying that no, it is a cult upstairs. They're dangerous. Do not trust them. And I'm like, oh my God, she shows us this note that someone, typed out, slipped on her door. Everyone at the building got it. And she goes to the building owner and she says, oh, who was this? Can we check the security footage? Woman is covered head to toe in she's completely does not want her identity known or, likely by the cult or whoever else. She said, I was part of it. Don't trust them.
Oh, the woman that did this was part of it.
She said she was an ex-member of the cult and she was part of it and I guess escaped at some point, whatever. She didn't want anyone knowing who she was. We still don't know exactly who that is.
Okay.
I may have an idea, but we still don't know exactly. So
yeah, don't say their name.
And I had to do research on this, and I quick Google cult in Billerica, Mass, and then I find one little blog, and it's hard to make any sense of. I linked it in my original post. It's like you can find it still, and it was this person saying how she used to be an ex-member of the cult, and it was sort of like a self-help kind of blog for people who might have been in this cult, but it still didn't give me any info on the cult. It was weird. It was cryptic. And I thought for a while, I just put the website in the back of my mind. I was like, I don't think I'm going to get anything from this. I can't even understand it.
Sure.
But I checked back in on that website very recently, and this person posted a picture of the upstairs of the Billerica mill. And I'm like, God. And it was but it was just the ceiling. The picture was and I could see some weird pagan tapestries on the wall. And I was like, I have to know more. I have to know more. And this time I go on the website and it's updated and there's an email. So, okay, great. And I email the person responsible and she gets back to me and answers literally all of my questions about what was going on up there. And I was amazed. So basically, I guess I'll kind of expose the cult right now.
Tell whatever you can. Yeah.
This cult, if anyone wants to know, the name of it officially is the Odyssey Study Group. I'm gonna get kidnapped for this.
Yeah. So I did a podcast 2 days ago with a member of the Israeli Special Forces, the Israeli Navy SEALs. Yeah, he's literally wearing a balaclava because he couldn't show his identity. But he sent me his passport and military ID. It's all in Hebrew. But I told him, I was like, dude, if ISIS comes after me, he said he and his boys will protect me. So so we've got special forces protection. If we disappear, I can't even say his name. If we disappear, hey, Israeli guy, you come get us, okay? Fucking track this IP address.
All right, or ISIS,
we're good.
So
fuck that cult. They're gonna have some Jewish Rambos knocking down their doors. All right, so the Odyssey Study Group.
Odyssey Study Group. For anyone interested,
what a perfect cult name.
Find a lot of information on them. There's New York Post did a big expose piece actually last November or something on them, which is basically the biggest piece of media ever covering this organization. But to get back to the Massachusetts side of things, I emailed with this woman, and luckily I was worried because the blog that she wrote was so weirdly worded that maybe I don't know how did it affect her, But no. The blog was written in sort of the speak of the cult, I guess, cult. Oh. I don't know. So for the members that are trying to leave, and, I guess it was just therapeutic for whoever the main audience was intended to. I don't know, but she wrote back to me in a perfectly. It was great.
Coherent, normal, okay.
And she said the Massachusetts side of this whole thing was just one small cog in a big, big, big part of of the whole cult.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was like, oh my God. If you look it up, the person who started it was this woman, Sharon Gans. I can't remember. She was a washed up actress from like the 70s, and she somehow managed to solicit money by like teaching an acting school, but the acting school was just regurgitating like this old philosopher's teachings that were like, give us money and we'll like berate you. They sort of abuse you mentally to I don't even know. It's some sort of they think there's like therapy and like a second, higher state of being if you expel your demons to us, and we just like tear you apart for it, and you would pay like hundreds of dollars a month to be able to do this. And that was the main part of the Massachusetts thing as well, that this woman I emailed with, that was like the upstairs of this mill. It was mostly a classroom. No, there was no, what was running through my head? Are they like sacrificing babies up there?
That's what I'm thinking.
What are they? Is it the eyes wide shut?
Yeah. Like, some chalk, some masks. The password, sir. Yeah. Vidalia. Yeah.
It was a little bit sad to find out that no, it wasn't anything as salacious as that. Nothing quite as ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I think if you find out about those cults, I don't think you get to live to tell anyone. I don't think.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I mean, shit. That was Stanley Kubrick's last movie. If we want to go down that rabbit hole.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey, but maybe that'll mean I get to live a little bit longer because they're okay. I'm okay with it. So, but it was still worrying.
That's still creepy as shit, though.
Exactly, and she said they would. Another big part of it was not just them scamming the members. They would teach the members how to scam other people. Like they would call up Christmas tree places around Christmas time and like say that they were getting trees for charity, but they needed them to be free, so they just got free Christmas trees without paying for them. It's like, why even scam?
Why scam Christmas trees?
To have like parties and then learn, and they would act like this knowledge that this old philosopher taught, like hundreds or I don't know. He wasn't like 1800. I can't remember his name. I can't remember the name. Yeah. George Gurdjieff or something was the name of the guy, but his teachings have been out forever. No one's heard of him, so they act like. It's like these teachings,
this esoteric knowledge that they have. This like weird. 100%. It's a weird power trip.
Yeah, exactly. And most people have never heard of the guy, so I guess they follow along and say, "Well, I've never heard of this shit, so I guess it must be somewhat bad." Yeah. But the main sect of the cult though is in NYC, actually, right here, and that's where the woman who runs the whole thing. She got a $10 million penthouse.
Of course,
part. I'm not joking. Paid for.
Of course.
It's just bizarre. The main thing you got to read is the New York Post article about them. Okay. They covered a lot. They've been accused of. So past members have accused this woman and the inner circle, I guess. The higher ups. Apparently there's been much more dark things like arranged marriages and abuse, like physical abuse and child labor, and then more sinister things. And they list off how people would spend tons of money to be like, to even go near the main woman, the woman who runs it all. And she would have them build like really expensive properties for her. And she would take them all on buses and say, okay, this one's going to cost you $600 a month or whatever, that we're out here just doing free labor for me, building like, I don't know. You got to
She would charge them.
She would charge them extra beyond just the regular cult fee to come with her, the grand master, and then build her fucking lake house. I don't know.
Dude, shit, I respect the hustle of her. Hey, man.
That's the main thing. It seems like it was this money scheme that she came up with.
She's too smart.
15 minutes of fame.
She knows what she's doing. She's too like. Someone like that, it's like, okay, she's not dumb. She knows.
100%.
Because you got to be fucking because if anyone could do that, we'd all be doing it. If you could get people to pay you,
she must be like a master manipulator and just had that skill, and it ended up becoming this way bigger, multiple state, fucking thing that I don't even like. It's crazy. I don't know, but you got to wonder how. I guess people just get sucked into it. They have tons of plants around these states, you know, just like asking random people in supermarkets, hey, you know, innocent questions. And would you like to be part of like a study group? You know, would you like to fit in and belong? And then it ends up being this whole,
how does that start? Yeah, because no one just, hey, join this cult.
You don't willingly join the cult. Exactly.
People in it probably don't. I mean, it's speaking in all my wisdom of cult education, but I feel like people in it don't even think they're in a cult. That you can't.
For a while, no, in a way, until it gets more and more sinister. Until I guess the mental abuse, and then in the case of this cult, starts stacking on, and then the money starts leaving your pocket, and you're wondering what you're doing, and you're realizing these people are just holding on to you for.
Just I guess mainly your money,
but it just seems more sinister than that. That's the thing that I'm trying to dig. You know, the woman I emailed with, she said I can't give you the full expose on these people. She said I was never a higher up. She was only a lower student,
a lower priestess.
Exactly, yeah.
Fuck.
So there's I'm sure there's a lot more. You know, it's just. But I think it's people who are maybe down on their, or I feel like cults prey on people who might want to find a place they belong. It's just like a group. It's like, we will accept you no matter what, but there's a big cost. That's not worth it.
Yeah. No, I mean it makes you're down on your luck, or life's not going so hot for you, or whatever. It seems like.
And someone seemingly nice comes out of the woodwork and says, hey, like, would you like to be friends? Well, you know, in a more professional way, you know, starting off.
Hey, your video froze. I can still hear you.
Oh, is it frozen?
Yeah, I can still
hear myself frozen on the top.
Yeah, I can hear. I'm gonna call you back literally right now. All right, you there?
All right.
Yeah, if it happens again, we can just keep talking. The video's not as important. I don't know. As soon as I did it, I was like, why the fuck do I? I was like, I can still hear you perfectly. Yeah, but no, it sounds like it's you know, you don't have any friends, or you know, it's the people that are like, college is the best years. Afterwards, they're like, there's nothing left, and then this thing comes up, and it's like, the best years are still ahead of you.
Exactly. And they're like, well, okay.
And you're like, shit, probably not the smartest tools in the shed, or sharpest tools in the shed. Probably, I guess I'm an idiot. But you know, probably not the brightest though. Like, you know,
I mean,
or maybe really just desperate. Maybe just really desperate. I mean, it doesn't matter how intelligent you are. You know, when life really kicks you in the nuts,
it's how they. You know, the woman I was talking to, she said, it starts off innocent enough. The woman who sort of got her, she said it was like at a supermarket line, you know, and they were talking about a book that she was holding, and then said, oh, we have a good like study book club, you know, we like to talk, we like to learn and teach, and I guess, I don't know, that sounds okay, you know,
it's enough.
Study. And then this, and exactly, you want to, I think the main thing is just like they find people who don't have a group anymore and are looking for that, you know, and it's usually older people. I mean, like kids don't usually have a problem.
It's
or at least with this specific. I mean, I don't know, the cults. Who knows how many cults are in the woodwork of any random building anywhere? I mean, what could even
fucking apparently, dude? It's. I mean, like, I think of when I was in college. I started college in August 2009, and so almost like 10 years ahead of you. And I remember I pledged into a fraternity, and it's kind of, I mean, there's definitely but it was even while me and my friends were doing it, you're definitely aware of like the cult nature of it. But
that's funny, a fraternity almost as cult.
But the thing is like, no matter what you're doing, it's like, so you're like a pledge, and you know, it starts fun. They throw you all these parties with all these sorority girls. And you're new at this college, you don't know anyone, all your friends from high school went to different colleges. Right. You don't have a group, you don't belong, you're just in this, you just moved out from mom and dad's, and it's this turbulent time, and you can't seem to fucking get laid, and you're, you know, the dorms suck, and you can't get into the bars. And then these guys come along that seemingly have college on lock, and they've got a big house right on campus. You don't got to get a cab or an Uber, and all the sorority girls go there, and not just any fuckers can come in. There's not, you know, it's a perfect 1-to-1 ratio. There's not a bunch of dudes there. and they've got parties and they've got all the cool shit, and yeah, it pulls you in. And then as a pledge, you start to get treated like shit, and then you start to buy into it. Yeah, hazing. Everyone's like, well, hazing doesn't exist. Hazing fucking exists. Oh, well, physical hazing. No, physical hazing exists too. Trust me. But
I have no doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is throughout all that cultishness, and yeah, as it goes on and as it gets worse, it starts feeling less worse because you start to buy into it.
You're like the Stockholm syndrome.
Yes,
thing, right?
But the thing is at the end, there is a reward. You get these crazy fucking parties. It wasn't an illusion. Yeah. You get these crazy parties, and no one else does.
Go through bullshit.
You go to
a point when you are just
get it. You get the thing. Like there's no, you go to an off-campus party and it's a sausage fest. There's 50 guys and 4 girls. Versus you've got this house right on campus. All the bartenders, all the bouncers, they're all your buddies. It's a fucking fraternal network. Our place, we had a pool. This is in South Georgia, where it's 1,000 fucking degrees. We had a pool. That was a monopoly on chicks in fucking bikinis. It's like
that really was.
So it was. There was the reality to it. Like there was like this was worth it.
The reward was the reality, I suppose. Yeah. I get that's funny as hell. That I never would think. Now that you're saying that, fraternity as cult, it kind of makes sense. Even just like it's almost perfectly analogous to the one I'm talking about. The whole you don't abuse yourself.
Oh, it absolutely is. It absolutely is.
But there is a reward, like you said.
And not only that, when you finally get in, all the guys above you, they start cracking jokes with you. They're like, wasn't that fucking like a cult? And you're like, yes. They're like, you're all shitting on it. And you all laugh like, yeah, man, we hated it so much too. And then the next year when you guys are getting pledges, it's like, you got to lower them in. But you also realize you're doing it with love. You're like, okay, we found some like cool dudes we want to join. But and then you never hate them. But you're like, we got to act like we hate them. Because it's part of the whole... They always say pledgeship is the best time you never want to have again. It's so because you bond with the whole point of pledgeship is to get all of them to bond together because you go through this shit together.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm still, I had my best friends from middle school and high school. The guys I still talk to every day are the guys I pledged up with. We haven't seen each other in 10 years, but we literally still talk every day.
That's so cool. That's nice.
But the thing is but you're very aware. So when you get pledges, you're like, all right, we're gonna lure them in, then we're gonna fuck with them.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, ultimately, you let down the illusion at the end. You're like, oh, wasn't that fun? You're in it. Now let's go fucking. It's 6 months of pledging, but then you get 3.5 years of endless sorority girls, parties, everything. It's awesome. With a cult, there's a point to this whole rant. It seems like there's never. You're just edging forever. There's never the orgasm. It just.
I think you're 100% right. Maybe you get close. Maybe you even get to meet the leader. Maybe you get to the inner circle, but you're still paying. You're never gonna stop paying, and you're never gonna stop getting taken advantage of or being abused or whatever. Whatever different kind of cults, or being deceived. Yeah,
and you never get the thing though. There's never here's the salvation. Or, here's the penthouse in New York. You get yours eventually. You never get it.
No, you never will.
Yeah, and that's what seems like. I guess I get it though.
Well, yeah. You maybe have more insight than I ever could because of the whole frat thing. There are no frats at the school, so we can't really. I can't really relate to that, but it's. What you were saying was funny as hell. I didn't think of it like that before, but it's really quite close.
It's identical. It's identical.
Period. Yeah. It makes me think of how you said that they put you through all the shit to make you bond together better. It's like army training, boot camp. They with your squad and you go through you crawl through the mud every day, go on a gajillion mile run or whatever, and then when you're out doing way worse shit, I guess, or you're in actually very dangerous situations, then you're all bonded together, all pretty good, I guess. The military is more cult-like than the frat, though, because do you ever get yours in the military? I wonder.
No, unless you bail out and go get a sick defense contractor job, but military is a little more. But even then, you could say you get unlimited healthcare. You do get money. There is something you get. it's shitty, but there's
the honor.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Be the reward.
Yeah, but that's still like an intangible. I'm talking about like a real. Like you could say the honor of the fraternity, and like sure that sounds great, but the reality is like you get a ton of girls, so like there is like a real thing. So, but even with military, as shitty as a lot of it is, it's like there is a fucking paycheck. Like that is an undeniable truth. There's a paycheck.
That's true.
You know, there's
you're not paying them.
Yes,
which is a big difference between. Maybe you're still having the abuse, you know, for a cause, but
but there is
you're getting paid.
There is So, well, you gotta like. So what did you ever like go up to that floor?
No, you gotta. The building was because we were always creeped out by. In the building, there was this like wrought iron staircase that was chained off. Always had chains around the front of it. At the top was a big metal door that had like padlocks and everything on it. That was where they were. I mean, they wanted nobody in there. And the owner himself told our boss. He said he had been suspicious of those people since day one when they started renting, because they told him, hey. We don't want anybody but you up here, you know, if the owner would ever need to check or see if, like, something was leaking in the roof or whatever. And he said, okay. I mean, they were paying rent, so okay, I guess so. But they said nobody is allowed up there. This staircase is off limits. This door is off limits. And, I mean, they weren't even doing really anything that sinister. It's the worrying thing. There's so little online about this group.
Yeah.
And while I found out the sinister stuff, there's not the New York. I'm telling you, the New York Post article has it all. I mean, that people have leveled allegations against the higher ups of this cult, where there's nothing is known about like the real, you know, what really goes on at this woman just fucking up the uptown that way. But you know what she's really going on, or up to with like I don't know, like forced marriages and shit.
Dude,
that's I don't know. If shit like that's true, then they could be in, you know.
Yeah, it's because at a point it's like a cult can be like as weird as it wants, but like if they're not like breaking any laws and they're paying rent, like technically it's like it's just like a really weird friend group. It's like they're not hurting anyone.
And that's sort of what what I've found out is.
Okay.
Are they doing anything illegal? No, not well. They're scamming people apparently, but
I think
it's hard to whatever. It's hard to trace back a fucking Christmas tree to. I don't think that's going to take them down anytime soon. It's they keep these like satellite sectors.
Yeah.
To keep. I don't know, to keep fucking people like me off the main. Whoever wants to look further into it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Hey, well, we're gonna blow this story wide open, motherfucker. In 5 years, we're gonna have those blue FBI jackets on, the raincoats, and we're gonna be there with like the SWAT teams when they finally raid them all at one time.
And finally raid the penthouse and find like, all the demonic.
No, I was gonna say find all the Christmas trees and it'd be like, you son of a bitch, we finally got them. It shows Santa crying like they got him. They finally got him. It's like South Park and
all those poor Christmas trees.
Yeah, South Park and tooth decay. I don't know. But no, dude, but yeah, they're not going to advertise. So let's just, because fuck, I'm not a fucking news source. We don't need to fact check anything. So let's wildly speculate.
Exactly. That's what I'm here to do.
Yeah. Fuck that. Fuck them. We're going to do whatever we want. Hey, if we're wrong, then they can sue us. But I don't think they want any light on them, so they're not going to.
I don't think they want any extra attention on them.
So let's wildly speculate, and with nothing based in fact. I feel like they wouldn't say that they're any of this like crazy demonic shit. That wouldn't be something they add. That wouldn't. I feel like you wouldn't even know that till you're in the inner circle.
No, definitely not. But it's like I wonder. How do they keep so many people quiet? Because this is clearly a big operation and people have come forward, but never, like the woman who writes the blog, but she was never a higher up. And there's the guy who writes one about the same cult, but like the New York things. But it's, he still was never, he's never got. So I feel like maybe, it almost comes back to your point, how maybe there is an incentive if you're in the cult long enough. You know what I mean? Maybe if you're dead loyal.
Maybe there is a tier where you get into and you get the thing.
Like the inner circle. The people who know what really fucking goes down.
Fucking cloaks.
In a lot of cults, else would be not that there's an incentive to stay in, but there's an incentive not to leave.
Maybe
they have some information.
It's like they blackmail.
Financially down.
Because that's
It makes sense. Yeah, maybe there's not a reason to stay in so much as a reason not to go. It's like the idea of pedophilia in the upper echelons of the government. It's not just like, oh, what a coincidence that all these world leaders are pedophiles. And again, this is based on nothing but my own fucking my own desire to sensationalize. But like the conspiracy theory is like, no, like none of them are like, it's not just a coincidence like they're all pedophiles. It's like, no, none of them are, but that's the only way you can get them all to not step out of line is like, I mean, the CIA and the Mossad have said like nothing is off the table to like, keep assets in line, whether it's, a bullet or whether it's child prostitution.
Serious blackmail. Yeah.
So like, if you're a politician and, it's not much of an incentive to be like, we're going to ruin your rep, because all politics is backstabbing and character assassination. But if it's like, we have hours of video of you engaging in illegal sex acts, like,
then that'll keep you in line. Yeah.
So you're not worried about losing your spot in office. You're worried about federal prison for the rest of your life. The death penalty. It's
so it could be it could be a reason not to leave rather than an incentive to stay. That's likely very true.
Yeah.
What are they doing in there? Exactly.
Filming.
Yeah, it's fucking. Yeah, it's like Wedding Crashers. I never know what she's doing back there. Mom, the cult guys are here. I never know what she's doing back there. But
Mom, please.
But
dude, I hope I don't ever have to tell my mom the cult guys are here. I mean, Jesus Christ. Well, I don't know. It's scary because no one really knows. And I'm keeping it all just to this specific cult. There's way more. Another guy messaged me about that post, and he said he was like he said in his free time he amateur investigates, cults in my area.
He's a member. Bullshit. He's a member, dude. He's fucking finding out where you are.
I was like, geez, is this guy gonna like recruit me to something? And he told me he listed a couple of interesting cult finds, but I was amazed. He listed off like at least 5. Different cults, and it seemed like most of them were religious or something.
Yeah.
But it seems like there's more cult action in the world than
be led to believe. I
don't know.
Maybe they use like the North Korea tactic. There's no incentive for you to stay so much as there's an incentive for you not to leave, and not to leave is a bullet. But the other one, people that have got out say that if you successfully escape, well, they tell everyone if you leave, your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, uncles, like it's like 3 degrees everywhere. Like your cousins, second cousins, like you, your kids, the next generation. It's it's not just killed. It's like they will be worked to death in labor camps.
They'll be sent to labor camps in Siberia.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if I can escape, but it's like, Jesus, like they're gonna fucking
your entire family.
They're gonna fucking work my mom, my dad, my poor grandma, my brothers, like. Their kids. Yeah, and it's
it would be. You don't want to say selfish because wouldn't want to escape, but it's just like if you were to follow through with it, then like you're ruining.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just random people's lives, but your own family,
the ones you love,
bloodline.
Well, I wonder if it's almost like a pledgeship thing. Like they build up. These heavy relationships with the people you joined with, and now if you leave, we're gonna kill the equivalent of your pledge brothers, your frat brothers.
Yeah.
So you, Bob, and Tim join together. You leave here, Bob and Tim are gonna die. Bob and Tim have been with you since day one.
You want to put that on them?
Yeah, you want to do that. Hey, think of everything you guys have done together. You guys have sacrificed a goat together. Like, you guys were there for each other. You guys have eaten a baby. Some weird shit. Like, yeah, man, it's fuck.
Like a collateral, for leaving. I don't know. It almost makes you want to infiltrate.
It almost.
That's the point that one seems to have to get at in order to fully get the full information that one might want on.
But is it like quicksand? Do you go in there and it's...
We're going in there with the fucking thing the SWAT teams have.
Yeah.
The door breaker.
Yeah, but how...
I'm saying infiltration by joining.
Yeah.
By acting as if...
Yeah.
I don't
not like brute military. Like covert action.
I'm going in. I'm talking about like...
You join covert action.
Fully like a sleeper agent.
Yeah.
And
they are master manipulators.
Exactly. So like it's like quicksand.
We're only imagining what they could be doing in there. I mean, and this is what they're focused on.
Exactly.
And they're manipulating as well as possible, so I'm sure they're pretty fucking good at it.
Yeah.
And if I were to approach them, they would probably know I was up to no good, even if
we can't do it. We can't do it.
No one, like we said, no one actively joins a cult unless they're infiltrating it.
Yeah.
And they probably know that. So.
Fuck, you're right.
So I have to just pray that exactly. I have to find out the places that they like to recruit. The exact Stop and Shop.
Yeah.
And then I got to be holding the exact book that sparks the conversation.
It's. But it it makes you think. How come this? And again, just wild speculation because it's fun. How come, if there is something like child abuse or labor abuse, or even just, Al Capone was taken down for tax evasion, like, even if there's shit like that, breaking a fucking tenant or, a lease agreement or whatever, it makes you think, how come it hasn't been taken down? Well, shit, maybe the people, how do you not know that chief of police isn't one of them,
Exactly. How deep does the rabbit hole go?
Yes.
And how many people do they have? We're trying to figure out why people don't leave. Do they have dirt on these people? And how many? And exactly, that's exactly what I was thinking too. If it's such a big operation and so many people are part of this thing and are paying money to this cult that this woman can afford multiple multi-million dollar properties, that means there's got to be a good amount of people involved in this whole thing. What do they do to keep people quiet? What do they do to keep everything what do they do to keep it so when you even just Google the name, so few related, real... Or
maybe it's not as nefarious as they have the police chief in Google. Maybe it's as simple as, here's a ton of money, don't investigate us. That's very believable. That's all right. Okay, whatever. You guys are keeping...
Whatever. I mean, hey, they're just rich and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so.
But,
just keep on payroll.
Yeah, and it's like, if, they're all these fucking, cracked out idiots in some, farmhouse in Montana, fucking cows with, cumulatively less teeth than either of us individually have, that's where you look at it, you're like, okay, these people are just fucking retarded, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't say that word anymore, apparently. But
I'll
have to fucking bleep Jesus. But
I hate how you can't.
And dude, trust me, it fucking kills me. But I don't want to get my channel yanked, so I gotta fucking censor myself. But point being is, when you see someone with a $10 million penthouse, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, well wait, because. It's one thing if they have a compound out in Montana. Nobody wants a compound out in Montana, so you don't really care. You're like, okay, whatever, they have it.
Yeah.
But if they're balling out on fucking Fifth Ave, it's like, well, hold on. Everyone's trying to get there, and they did.
And they did.
So what's going on? Because they figured out a way.
And there's no proof. And it's like, it's so weird because this woman, she was an actress. She starred in one movie in the 70s.
Yeah.
So, how do the people with her not, whoever she was buying the apartment from, how do they not question, exactly, they're doing something very right. And it's and she's keeping the people who know what she did right very under wraps.
Yeah. Or it's just as simple as, how come they're not questioning, her, how'd she get this money to buy the apartment? Maybe because they're just like, I don't give a fuck. You're someone buying an apartment.
There's someone buying. This
is my business.
Cash.
I sell properties. I don't care if it's an athlete, a politician, or a fucking cult member. I got the money's clean.
I'm selling the apartment.
I got the apartment. Whatever. They're just big ballers. They don't give a fuck. It's goddamn, man.
Like I said, how deep does it go? We have no idea.
No idea. IRS, you know that?
Are they not taxed?
Exactly. Well, see, that's how they get taken down, is because you don't skimp out. You don't skimp. That's one thing you don't do, is you don't keep Uncle Sam from getting his skimming off the top.
His paid dues, yeah.
That's how you get fucked.
That's how Al Capone got fucked.
Yeah, that's how Al Capone gets fucked. Hey man, Saddam, he changed their fiat from the petrodollar to gold. Gone. Muammar Gaddafi changed from petro to gold. Gone. It's hey man, there's a history of that happen where it's what did 4 presidents have tried to shut down the Federal Reserve. 4 presidents have been assassinated. It's like don't take the money from the fucking, you got to pay the mob boss.
Uncle Sam will get his
Uncle Sam's going to get his dick wet. He doesn't give a shit, he gets a piece.
Why?
Yeah, but
I guess we'll have to see if this woman ever does answer up.
So do they just pay the IRS? Do they just, hey, here's tax for
maybe somehow
they call property tax, whatever.
Filed this whole thing under a legitimate looking,
or a religious organization where, hey, we don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah. The adults study teaching mentorship foundation or some shit like that, and they have the legitimate. Maybe she's legitimately doing all the forms for her business, and that's why and it makes it look legit. Why there's X many people paying her $400 a month, and like just her or something.
Again, would the government give a fuck if, just like the apartment owner, hey, here's my $10 million penthouse and here's my fucking $1 million in property taxes. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
And here's my papers to make it look like a legitimate business. Fuck off and let me keep killing babies.
Let me keep killing babies. Hey, I just cut off a goat's head. I need to wear its face while it's still warm. Some shit like that. I just got some new incense and red robes I need to try out. It's dude.
He's got a new curved dagger forge. Gotta go try it out real quick.
It's a full moon tonight. Do you know how big this is for me? Okay? I've got a lot of stuff going on.
So goddamn long for this, man.
You saw that petting zoo? Yeah, that's not a petting zoo, all right? I brought those animals in for a reason. Yeah, dude.
It's crazy. I don't know. But like I said, we will never know, or most likely until someone we gotta infiltrate. Stealthy.
No, fuck that. I'm not infiltrating. Those motherfuckers can do whatever. I got my life going, man. I'm 29. You
gotta understand, this is like I'm so hooked into this, like ever since I got so much more information than I ever thought I would get originally.
Hey,
I mean that was pretty interesting for me, because for the longest time I wondered what was up there before I emailed this woman about her experience, and I don't know. Now I'm totally like,
dude. So that woman put those notes under all the doors. Is that recruiting? Master manipulators, dude.
I know.
They give you a little bit. Hey, I escaped. Hey, dude. Think about it.
More aware.
Think of how interested you are now. That's how they yank you in.
Fuck, dude.
I know.
That's just the thing. Yeah. Now you got me wondering, because if you were to infiltrate, you're way out of your league with mind games being played here.
Yeah.
One level of mind game. Oh, I want to be part of the cult, but I'm not. They're on like fucking 15.
They're 9 ahead of you.
Yeah, they're like.
You don't get to a point where you can own multi-million-dollar apartments and have people pay you to work for you. That's. Shit, dude, Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and Elon Musk, they're brilliant, but even they're not at that level. They have to pay their employees. You gotta, that's some next level, that's some messianic complex. Maybe that's how they do it. Hey, I escaped.
Just try to forget.
I escaped this cloak and dagger thing. You know, I can't tell you anymore. A week later, you're like, fuck, I gotta know more. I'm interested. You know,
exactly. That's what
I'm sure, dude. I think
it could all be a scheme.
I think it's. Hey, how do you not know that I'm a recruiter?
You know, I wouldn't.
Froze up.
Yeah, that was probably you froze up at the same time for me, so that was probably me.
Probably the Colt.
We're on the school Wi-Fi, so it'll be a little shaky points here and there. Yeah,
it was probably the Colt. It's probably the Colt fucking with the Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. I'm a little uncomfortable now.
I know it makes you.
How well do you know your roommate? What's his background? Is he an operative?
Dude, I'm about to just live in like cardboard box.
You need to take one of those pillows and smother him. He needs to go, dude.
No, are you a cult recruiter?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. Well,
that's what they would say.
My whole life has been a scheme pointing me towards this cult.
Yeah, but no, like, I think even if you were to try to infiltrate it, it's like you said, like, you have no idea how far ahead they are. This is what they do.
Exactly. No, you're right.
It's just saying, anyone who can live in $10 million penthouses who never got obviously is pretty smart.
They know what they're doing.
It's extremely effective. The methods they have are extremely effective. Yeah. They're probably even within like your first time being there or going to a meeting, they're probably going to do something, get some piece of information for you or record you doing something or do something that basically entraps you and puts you in a position where you're obligated to continue. And then the line between when you're actually infiltrating and when you're at what point you're actually becoming a member is completely blurred.
Yeah, that's true. You get the Stockholm syndrome.
How many people have joined? How many members started as infiltrators?
Oh my god, that's another fucking Jesus. Yeah,
maybe they even maintain a certain level of visibility so that people will try to infiltrate.
That's what we were saying. That's what we were saying.
That's what we were saying about the woman who I emailed with and her whole blog.
She's a recruiter.
And the woman who slipped the notes under the door to pique interest in the whole thing.
I don't know. Maybe that's a bit elaborate.
Yeah, that does seem.
I don't think so, because if you can own a fucking $10 million penthouse by not doing anything but having people fucking enslaved to you, they know what they're doing.
That's on the table entirely on the table.
Oh no.
Almost 12.
Yeah.
No, he's just talking about his class.
Oh, dude, it's like I said, if they were just in some fucking old, tin fucking mining shack in Nevada, it'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever. They're not that smart. But dude, if they're balling out in penthouses on fucking Billionaires Row in Manhattan,
it's a very different story. Yeah,
they've probably got multiple tiers of like what brainwashing you got to use. Hey, dumb guy at the supermarket maybe doesn't look like he's got all the light bulbs on. You just hit him with a, hey, are you interested? Next level education, next level intelligent, aware person. Yeah. They hit you with a, hey, I escaped this thing. Can you believe it? Email me to know more. Yeah.
In it already, dude. What the
bro? This is an interview for the cult right now.
That's what I said, man.
How do I know he's not a...
How do I know you guys aren't in and you guys are like, hey, man, do you need an interesting topic for your podcast?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey.
Fuck.
How many mind games am I on right now?
How many? Jesus, dude.
This has become way more of a mind fuck than I ever thought. Talking about cult would be. But it's kind of true. It's possible. There is someone, as much as we're speculating about, being in some crazy web or me and us being in some crazy web of cult intrigue and already being, there is probably someone out there who is in this situation, who is not even unknowingly getting recruited to a cult because of some extreme mind game manipulation interest.
Dude, there's a reason why the fucking top organizations are called intelligence organizations. It's because they're fucking smart. Dude, Operation Paperclip, when we captured a bunch of Nazis right after World War II, do you know how we finally got to them? It wasn't through coercion. It wasn't through beating them. It wasn't through abusing them. It was that there was one of the camps we had in Europe where we arrested him and put him. It was called Ashcan. It was one of the most classified things the U.S. Army did. But what they found out was it wasn't by beating them or saying we're going to kill you, because all their buddies were already getting hung at Nuremberg, so that wasn't working.
They weren't.
What they found out was all these Nazis, they had a very big. It was all sort of a popularity contest with each other. So one day, one of them, for whatever, just by chance, they gave him clean sheets and a clean pillow. And all the other Nazis started saying, how come he's getting the clean sheets and the clean pillows?
Right.
And they started saying, oh, so an intelligence officer came in and said, actually, I'm here to hear your grievances, make sure that you guys are getting the care you need. They all started opening up so that they could get things like toothpaste, and they'd all gossip about each other. Oh, you gossip? Thank you. Here's a comb. Little tiny shit. But think about it. The entire industrial might of the U.S. Army, it wasn't nukes. It wasn't tanks. It was a couple smart guys.
Right.
So this level of shit, it does work. That's how we and it works on smart people. One of the guys we got was Werner von Braun. Who is he? He took us to the moon. So, like, yeah, he was the head of the NASA program under JFK.
I know a little bit about Paperclip and how it was kind of kept under wraps that some of the top Nazi scientists were sort of whisked away to here.
There's a great book. There's a great book called Operation Paperclip by Annie Jacobson. It's fucking fantastic. I think it won. I think it
goes
won.
into like all the detail about that.
But one thing, so I was talking to a guy that worked for NASA. He did one of my podcasts, and we were talking about just conspiracies and shit.
Right.
And this is the last thing I'll say. We're almost at an hour, so I'll let you go. Or if you want to keep going, I'm down to keep going. I don't give a shit. Fuck,
I'm fine with whatever.
All right, cool. But one of the things I said was like, so you know who Bob Lazar is? UFO guy?
I don't actually. I actually started watching. I didn't finish it, but I watched part of the podcast that you did with the guy from NASA, and he was on the phone.
Oh yeah. So Bob Lazar is the UFO guy. He was on Joe Rogan. He's Well, this guy's friends with Bob Lazar, and we were talking about, like, you know, how is it true? Could it be true that there's a fucking flying disc out in the desert? But I brought up something. Yeah. So Area 51 wasn't acknowledged by the government until 2014, when the Obama administration finally said, it's where we do fucking research, whatever.
Yeah.
No one had heard about it until Bob Lazar came out about it in 1989. But it had been in existence.
Really? Bob Lazar was the guy to kind of...
Area 51. You know about Area 51 because of Bob Lazar.
Okay.
Yeah. Up until then, it was just, they're flying planes out there. But... Yeah. So, but we started building Area 51 at Groom Lake in, I believe, the late 40s or early 50s. So it's been out there forever. But the point I'm getting at is, so think about what we now know is 100% truth, not even partially classified. It's 100% truth. We brought rocket scientists from Nazi Germany over, and we held them out at these secure bases in Nevada, and they helped develop the F-1 engine, the Saturn V rocket, and that got us to the moon. Okay, right. Well, it's history, whatever, you know. But think about it at the time. We had just beat the Nazis 2 years prior.
Yeah.
And we're bringing Nazis over to America. That one's crazy enough. We had a secret base out there that no one knew about for another 40 years and wasn't declassified for another 60. And what were they doing? They were planning on going to the fucking moon. When the first flight was 40 years prior. Now, again, we know that now, but imagine if you said to some blue-blooded American in 1947, hey, you know the Nazis, the ones that you and your dad and your dad's friends just got back from fighting? We're keeping a bunch of them out at a secret base in the middle of the desert that you can't know about, and they're planning on going to the moon. Bullshit. But that's exactly what happened. That is literally exactly what happened.
Anyone's mind at the time. And so, well... Let me guess what you're getting at here. What do we not know?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
About space travel.
That
UFOs or whatever.
I'm just any conspiracy. It's no matter. I mean, but how crazy? You know, you can't get much crazier than that. That sounds like a cheap sci-fi. We're keeping Nazis out in the desert, and they're helping us to get to the moon.
And but even though it's exactly history now, it would have been conspiracy far and away,
but not even like somewhat believable conspiracy. It'd be dude, you need to fucking stop drinking moonshine.
Yeah.
But there's probably some dude some former employee at Area 51 who's like, there are German motherfuckers out there and they're planning on going to the moon. And they're working with the CIA.
And you'll never believe me, but it's true.
But that's not even sensationalized. That is what happened. That is what
it is. And now we can kind of. It still sounds pretty crazy even nowadays, but like you said, it's just history now. Conspiracy becomes weird, but history, albeit weird history. But so damn.
I mean, think about Bin Laden, dude. Bin Laden was on the front page of the newspaper in the late 80s as freedom fighter, friend of America.
Yeah, he was in CIA trained him, didn't they?
Yeah, because he was in the Mujahideen. CIA was paying him and giving him Stinger surface-to-air rocket launchers to fight the fucking Russians. Friend of America. 2001 rolls around, fucking World Trade Center's going down. We need to take down Bin Laden. Truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction.
Events never go as normally. Nothing. It's always just like the real. I don't even know. Real life story arcs are just the strangest. Like the whole Bin Laden. How we started, trained by the CIA to terrorist masterminds, top number one most wanted, I don't even know, crazy.
I mean, we used to prop up Saddam and Gaddafi until they had to go, and then
literally a snap of the fingers and
they're done. They weren't playing ball anymore. But yeah, it makes you. So when you hear shit like that, so that's literally what happened. I'm not saying that crazier shit than that happens, but I think it's fair to say anything less crazy than that has to be at least considered,
Yeah, definitely.
If I can jump up and at the NFL Combine, if I can jump up and whatever, hit the thing that's at 80 inches, well then, I'm not saying I can hit 83 inches, but you have to consider any statement I say that I can hit anything below that, right?
Yeah, I could easily hit 75.
Yeah, because I hit 80. Well, if we had Nazis at a fucking goddamn unacknowledged base in the desert going into the moon, using cults to keep politicians in line, to me that seems a lot less crazy.
Yeah. Damn. Politician. It could be. You think at some point, in 40 years, we're going to have a history book or whatever or there's going to be some big, thing, government acknowledging, yes, the Odyssey study group and
it was CIA payroll or some shit.
It's on CIA and the IRS and as an experiment to manipulate on human psychology and manipulate. Would that be less crazy in the future than the whole Nazi movement? Honestly, probably.
Yeah.
And thus why it should be considered.
Yeah, it's anything less crazy than that, you gotta just go
you gotta go, well, I mean,
dude, what about possible. What about that motherfucking, what was in the 80s when a couple CIA planes with CIA registered tail numbers crashed and coming over the border into the US, and there was just literal, I don't mean tons as like a exaggerate, I mean 2,000 pounds, just bricks of cocaine. Wait,
when did that happen?
That was here. Let's look it up.
CIA cocaine plant?
Yeah, drug running. Because if you got to do covert ops, but all your money is accounted for, does it not make sense to? Well, hey, we got to get some money from other methods,
If there's some reason to
you're working at Walmart and the government knows that you're making $7 an hour, you got to pay taxes, but no one knows about the dime bags you're slinging to your buddies.
Well,
you put a little money on the
applies to the government.
Yeah, but if you're the CIA and you need to do this and they're men of action and we got to go do this, but government's not giving us the paycheck we need. Well, shit, they are already in control of everything. They see everything. Why can't they say, hey, tell the, whatever, border security, tell the FAA, hey, a plane's coming in, national security. Okay.
Don't open it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah,
you want to listen. You want to listen to Uncle Sam because they're protecting us. So hey, it's not for you. Just okay, national security.
Just park it in the hangar and forget it.
And hey, some guys are gonna come get it, and just you're serving your country by not saying anything. Sure, and and it goes without saying, if you do say something, not only are you not a patriot, you're gonna disappear.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah,
and what better fucking way to make money than fucking sell cocaine or sell massive amounts.
You think it's because they have some reason they're helping out like cartels or something because they have some reason to keep them going or something? I know I'm on the Wikipedia page of allegations of CIA
drug running.
Drug trafficking. Yeah.
Again, is it more beneficial for the U.S. government to keep Mexico in a state of warfare for whatever reason?
Or like South America, just in this general like constant.
Yeah, for whatever reason, if it's deemed as beneficial to America, there's no reason why we wouldn't do that. We would absolutely do that.
Well, don't people accuse the CIA of like slinging crack to neighborhoods?
To keep the black population down, to keep a lower class, to keep the prisons full.
And it's almost believable with how big crack. I mean, that sounds crazy, but people didn't just start.
Crack just didn't. Here it is.
Yeah, crack wasn't so well. Crack is. I imagine it's pretty good. I'm not saying it's crack.
It's got to be. It's got to be a blast. There's a reason people do it.
It must be a blast, but it wasn't like. I don't know. I feel like it wasn't just like so profitable or something that everyone just decided that was.
It had to have just been.
Especially because it has to be so destructive to your body, and so visibly. I don't know. Things don't just take off as quickly as that, or do they? Maybe they do,
but no, I don't, because none of these chemicals are new. These aren't invented. Sure, you got some designer drugs, but
and whatever.
But I mean, cocoa leaves have been around for fucking longer than human beings. So it's not. But think about the opium wars. What did Britain literally, and I could be completely stepping out of line, but I'm pretty sure Britain, they used that against China in the 1800s because it was like, hey, we're going to get all your people addicted.
They won a trade fucking deficit. China was going to kill Britain just like kill us now, but they were killing Britain in like everyone was buying Chinese, I think like silk or instead of Britain linens or something because they were just better. Like Chinese stuff was just better.
Yeah.
Britain shipped over shitloads of opium and said, hey, here you go. That was 100% true.
And they're like, hey, we're kicking you out of here. You can't sell opium. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Here's opium. We're going to flood the markets.
And here's more. Here's more. And that will get you fucking addicted.
And hey, don't kick us out, because now if you kick us out, every fucking worker in your economy is going to go through withdrawals and your economy is going to crash.
Crippled. So
So you want to keep them nice and they have to have their fix. Yeah, so I don't think that's crazy at all, which makes me think about fucking like the opioid crisis, and it seems all the fentanyls from fucking China.
Yeah,
is this a form of futuristic warfare?
Doesn't China, they have like factories, like I was watching something, like there's so many synthetic sort of crack-like opioid type thing, whatever, that go around like, South Florida or something. And every time one gets banned, the Chinese factories just change one molecule on it. So that's technically not the same thing. And then it's just back out there. And and are they doing the same? Are they doing the same thing to us?
Yeah. Well, not even that. Yeah, no, that's called analogs. That's how pharmaceutical companies. I have a biology degree, so I do know some of this.
Oh, okay.
But that's what
I'm just talking about.
No, but you're completely right. It's what they do. It's called an enantiomer, and it's where you take something. It's called chirality. Chirality means handedness. It's like, what's the difference between your right hand and your left hand? The only difference is it's called handedness. Like, you can't overlap them. You can't. The only difference is they're a mirror of each other. And with a lot of drugs, what you can do when the patent runs out is you can make an enantiomer, and then
it doesn't count as the same.
And so you can get a new patent, and you can come out and sometimes the enantiomer is better. Sometimes it's just the same. but technically it's a new chemical.
So even if the chemical's just mirrored, there's no law against that not being classified as the same chemical.
You had drugs in the 2000s. You had modafinil. It was a stimulant. It was originally used by the Air Force, and once the patent went away, and the company, I forget whatever, I think it was a French company. Once they couldn't have modafinil anymore, they made what was it? The first one was adrafinil, and then they made modafinil, and then they made armodafinil, and it's just you kind of keep tweaking shit until you can do whatever you want. It's why it seems like that's why a lot of these big pharmaceutical companies are fighting against legalization of marijuana, because you can't patent THC.
No, you can't. And what are you could maybe patent your specific.
Well, and that's what they're doing is they have these. Instead of like marijuana or THC, it's like Marijuanex, and what they do is they go change a little something, and then all of a sudden, fuck yeah, we can sell it. It's ours now. But yeah, man, so
Marijuanex. What we're just gonna be smoking spice, but legal again.
We're gonna go
prescription spice again.
Yeah,
that was another huge fucking epidemic of
Georgia
shit that was killing people. Yeah,
dude, me and my friends smoked
marijuana analog or that was not really. I don't even.
That was
know.
a complete synthetic. No, that was just fucking. I smoked it a couple times with my friends.
Sprayed with shit. Yeah.
Dude, we smoked it and yeah, it felt like weed. And like in hindsight, I now know that apparently it's like a very, very small percentage of people get a weed-like experience. For most people, it's terrifying or fatal.
Freak the fuck out on it or something, or it's like just some super, I don't know, spices before my time. That was an epidemic before.
Yeah, I vividly remember fucking hitting a gravity bong with spice in our frat house. Yeah, you know what? It was pretty insane. It's one of those things.
So yeah,
you're just sitting at your laptop, just watching videos of the universe. Just you kind of come to at 4 a.m. and you're like, the fuck. But yeah, it's
near psychedelic type experience.
What?
I don't even. Yeah. Like it was it sounds like almost like psychedelic.
not quite as psychedelics are awesome. But
they are.
Yeah, psychedelic.
Well, videos of space, just like not even aware of your.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've never smoked spice. I have no idea what that would.
Not worth it. I wouldn't say.
Nor do I really want to.
No, you shouldn't. But, no. But so I'll touch up on this, and then let's wrap this up.
Sounds good.
But yeah, anything less crazy than Nazis in the desert going to the moon, I think has to be considered.
Yeah, I agree.
China using fentanyl as a weapon. They can't take on the Chinese military. So hey, China can't take on the U.S. military. Yeah. So hey, let's flood the fucking borders with fentanyl. Let's start killing people. Let's get everyone addicted.
Yeah.
Let's get everyone addicted.
It could be possible. Hey, keep an eye out. If fentanyl really becomes as common as crack ever was, or whatever, as big of a thing.
Yeah.
Sure, but it has killed a bunch of.
That's what.
Now there's the fucking virus and everything.
Coronavirus?
America, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, man, it seems like if they can't play ball on the military field, it seems like China's like, fuck it, we'll beat you on a different court.
Maybe. I mean, China, if it's anyone's to do that, it's China. I think China is by far the scariest.
Yeah, because
power,
they're fucking evil, but they have power.
They're the government. I mean, because it's so controlled. They're still so
and they do it successfully.
Like an iron fist.
They do it successfully. A lot of countries they try to be tyrants, but it either doesn't work or
is in this weird in between where they can control anything you say or whatever, but they're still technically we're not like communist. We're still you can still own a business and go on the internet, and it's not like North Korea where everyone knows ridiculous it is.
Yeah, it's
weird. Like I get what you're saying. They're a successful sort of tyrants, just sort of mass controlling.
A government controlled society. It's either it either doesn't work in most cases, and eventually the country breaks free, or it does work, but it has the side effects are, hey, your country's going to be North Korea, or you're going to be some country in Africa. You did it, but the thing's fucked. Yeah. Is it even worth having?
And the rest of the world knows you're not really a threat in a major economic.
You're just an asshole. Like
you're just an asshole. Yeah.
But China's a weird. Yeah, China. I mean, shit, dude. I've got all these. How many of my battery packs for chargers or fans? China. God damn it! It's the fucking.
They're smart. They're master manipulators.
Oh, fuck.
We're back to square one. Our cults keeping the whole population under control.
Our cults a China op.
Fuck, dude. China's a cult. Everything's a cult. Honestly, you expand the definition of a cult and literally anything. Because what is the definition? Dude.
If I get followers for my podcast and people think it's funny, and is this a cult? Are we forming a cult by being a guest? Are you contributing to the? So do you not even intentionally make a cult? Do you just stumble into it? And one day you wake up and, I mean, Joe Rogan. That's a cult, but he didn't set out to make a cult. It just happened.
Yeah. It's just, where do you draw the line on cult? Does it have to be damaging? Does it have to be, or just fanatics?
Or is it just some cults are cool, so we don't call them cults?
Yeah.
I'm from New England. Are we Patriots cults? Are we Tom Brady cult members? But we win Super Bowls, so no one cares. The Yankees, the Yankees win World Series, so it's like they're a cult, but it's like, yeah, fuck you, we won. So it's like, yeah, okay.
Well, okay, you're too good, yeah.
Yeah, so it's cool. So it's like some cults are cool, so they're not cults.
So they don't get that label.
It's when you're creepy and fucking goats and wearing alligator masks and
killing babies.
and singing Latin backwards with weird.
That's when you get the label.
That's when you get
nobody likes.
And is that just a label from other cults? Hey, we're gonna label this a cult. You guys didn't get approved, so now you're a cult.
It's that's so weird. It's a word that doesn't have a very defined or clear cut definition. I guess.
Well, it's like Stalin. One death is a tragedy. 1 million is a statistic.
Yep.
Or it's like a gang gets bigger and bigger and more violent until they have a flag and an anthem, and then it's a country.
Yep. They're terrorists, until they have a country, and then they're world leaders, or whatever. And they're cultists until they control all the politicians, and then they're.
So is everything a cult? But it's only the ones that aren't approved to be cults get called cults.
Guess so. But who approves?
The big cults.
The other cult? The big cult?
The cults that you're in that you don't even know you're in.
In China?
Are we in the American cult?
Maybe Area 51 aliens are
pulling the strings. At this point, fuck it. I don't know why that's any less crazy.
Right, we're just. It's been wild speculation hour. Anything goes.
We've gone way out into the weeds. We left.
I've gone way out.
The road left the fucking rearview mirror an hour ago. Matt, I enjoyed it, dude.
I enjoyed it very much as well. I'm glad I got the opportunity to come on here.
Hey man, anytime if I can't find days I can't find a guest, I'll shoot you a message if you just want to speculate wildly. You're always welcome to come on, bro.
I would probably be down again to speculate wildly with you.
Fuck yeah.
If you're ever in need, I'll whatever. If I'm ever free and you need me, I'll let you know.
If I need a filler episode to talk about fucking aliens and Bigfoot.
Perfect.
Fuck yeah, bro. Thanks for doing it, man. I'll send you a link when it's up. And
all right, sounds sick.
Yeah,
having me on. I'm glad I could have been of service to the podcast. I hope
to the cult.
Into the cult, or the podcast and my being on it being of service to the higher cult power. Which
I can't. Yeah. Is it even a podcast? Is it the pod cult? Fuck.
It's the cult cast.
God damn it, dude. I can't.
We're gonna.
I'm gonna go for.
Hurt my brain if I
I'm gonna go for a walk. All right, dog. Hey, I'll send you a link. Thanks for doing it, man.
Sounds perfect. Thanks for having me on.
Peace,
I'll
brother.
see you.
All right, dog.